All right, so this is a second lecture for week 3. It is going to be me showing you how to use the Dallas College Library in case you haven't mastered that skill yet. So let me share my screen. Remove my controls. All right, so if you are already signed in to either your email or your eCampus at Dallas College, all you need to do is open another window, go to Google and type in Dallas College Library. Make sure you type in Dallas College Library, not just Dallas Library, so that you're getting into the college database. And then I would just select this top link, Campus Libraries. So our college library has subscriptions to databases, and you can think of those databases as additional libraries. So at any given point in time, there are between 70 and 80 libraries inside of our library. There is a Black History Library. There's a liberal arts library. There's a Gothic literature library. And then there are many generic libraries. And so if you scroll down right here where it says search the library catalog, if you type in your search here, it's going to search all 70 or 80 databases. So let's do that. So let's pretend like we are going to write about let's see, global warming. I'm going to type in global warming, and I'm just going to hit search. So if you look up here at the top, you will see there are 367,000 articles about global warming across our 70 or 80 databases. So we're obviously going to have to rein that in. One way you rein that in is coming over here to the left-hand side on the ribbon, and you're going to click you only want articles that have the full text available. You're also going to click you only want peer-reviewed articles. Now this is the big one. You only want peer-reviewed articles. Those are the cream of the crop for having been written by experts in the field. A peer-reviewed journal article, a journal is a collection of writing within a certain domain. So let's say neonatal nurses have their own journal. Let's say people that are experts on Edgar Allan Poe have their own journal, etc. So when you go to these journals, you are getting the cream of the crop, the most expert of experts, and they've been peer reviewed. So if someone has written an Edgar Allan Poe essay, 20 other people that have degrees involving Edgar Allan Poe will be reviewing that article and determining if it gets to be published in that journal or not. So this is the most reliable source that you can get. I'm going to scroll down. I'm not crazy about newsletter articles. I'm not crazy about magazines. I don't really want to sift through book chapters. That's a lot of reading to do. And I don't want reviews where just other people have reviewed other things. I want articles. So when I click this, let's see how narrow it gets. We're at 367,000 at this point. We're going to click this and we're going to hit enter, apply filters. There we go. So we went from 360 something down to 89,000. That is still obviously far too many articles to sift through. So we're going to come down here to publication date. So if you are looking for Victorian newspapers, of course you're going to want to make sure your publication date goes far back. But if you were looking at something like global warming, you are probably wanting items that are written in the last 5 years. So let's change these dates. Excuse me. We're going to change these dates to, I'm going to go to 2020, 2021 to 2026. 2026 hasn't happened yet. Let's go 2020. So we're going to have about a 5-year span there. And that's what we're going to look at. Let's apply that filter. We're down to 43,000. All right, so at this point, you're going to have to determine what are some other key terms that you can search that make this more specific. So up here where your search box is, come over to the right and hit Advanced Search. That allows you to add a second term on the second line. So do you want to know how global warming affects indigenous people? Do you want to know how global warming affects sea creatures? Do you want to know how it affects tornadoes and weather? Let's say we want to know how it affects polar bears. So we now have two search terms. We get to decide where those search terms show up by clicking this drop-down menu. Do you want global warming just to be anywhere, or do you want it to be specifically in the title? Do you want it to be the author's name, the subject, etc.? So let's just say we want it to be anywhere in the article. Let's get specific with the polar bear though. Let's, instead of any field, let's get polar bear in the title. It's going to be mostly about polar bears, somewhat about global warming. And come down here and search. Okay, now we're down to 398 articles. That is much more doable. I'm going to check and make sure that my other searches are still on. No, they got dropped. So I'm going to again click full text. I am again going to click peer reviewed. Now I'm down to 73. So 73 is a good number to sift through and just start reading. Well, let's narrow it down to articles. Okay, now we're down to 68. So now we can start looking at the titles of articles, and we can start opening some articles and we can start reading them. And I've got just a few more tips for you if you will stick with me for just a few more minutes. Arctic predator prey system in flux due to climate change impacting coastal spaces for polar bears. That sounds like something that would be interesting for someone writing about polar bears and global warming. So we can click get a PDF. We can click read online. I see it's also available online. Let's click read online just because. Oh, it says I'm not signed in. I know that I am. So let's see if it will let me sign in again. There we go. So here is the article. Here is the abstract. An abstract is a summary, so that's a good place to start. You can read the summary. If you like the summary, you can read the rest of the article. Okay, there it is. So let's say we like this. I'm going to tell you a shortcut. If you like this article, you can generally scroll to the end. Well, this is just the abstract though, isn't it? Okay, so here's their references. That's what I was looking for. If you like this article, check their references and maybe you can grab other article titles from there. So we have rapid environmental change driving increased land usage by Arctic marine predators. That seems like a relevant article. So you could copy that, drop that back into our library and see if we have it. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. What's another one? A body condition index for Earthsides. I'm afraid I don't know what Earthsides are. I'm not going to read that one. Diet composition for polar bears in the West Barents Sea. That could be relevant. So once you decide you like an article, you can look at their references, generally at the bottom. This one's on the left-hand side. And you can grab articles from there, drop their titles back into our library and find out if we have them. And if so, you can use those as well. So going back here to our list, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to do. You're going to immediately come over here and click this envelope. And you're going to email this to yourself. It's very important you email it to yourself so that you have it, because the likeliness of you finding the same article again tomorrow or next week or at 11:30 at night when you're trying to get your essay submitted very quickly is not likely. So if you email this to yourself, whatever, your student ID is, or your personal email, your Gmail, your Yahoo, whatever it is, type it in there and hit send, and it should send this article to you. The other hint that I was going to give you is that you can usually ask a librarian if you are having a difficult time finding an article that you're looking for. It's likely because you are not using the correct search terms, how we came in with global warming and polar bears. It's likely you are not using the correct search terms because there are so many. You just saw 300 something thousand articles about global warming. And so there's going to be 300,000 articles about almost anything. You can come in the top right hand corner, click this chat button, and a librarian, if a librarian is available, they're not available. I'm filming this at 8 o'clock at night. If it were during regular school hours, you would be able to type your question in this box and a librarian would immediately come and assist you and help you find different search terms. Or if you can't get an article open, because if you're dealing with 70 different libraries, then that was the Gesture library we were in a minute ago. This is the ProQuest library. See up here in the corner, it says ProQuest. Every single library opens differently. And so you may not be able to figure out how to open what it is that you're trying to open. See, this one is the Gesture library, the Gesture Arts and Sciences library. So there's a lot of different options there. Let's just take a look at one more. This is the I don't even see the name of this. Oh, the Wiley on Library Holding Journal. So that's a different library as well. Wiley Online Library. And so they all open differently. And if you can't get it open, you can chat with a librarian and they can either tell you how to get it open or you can give them your email and they can mail you the article. So that is how you use the school library. I would suggest using the advanced search. Let's go to new search. If you're searching Mulan movie and you are wanting to do the advanced search, maybe you're using a historical lens, but maybe let's just put historical accuracy. That's not how you spell accuracy. There we go. Historical accuracy in any field. Mulan, let's put that in the title. Nothing. So title must contain Mulan the movie. Back to the search criteria. That wasn't a good search. Let's just do Mulan. Historical accuracy, search. Nothing. Let's just get rid of the word accuracy. Search. Here we go. Mulan and Moana. Embedded. Obviously, that's colonist theory. Coloniality and the search for authenticity. That looks like a great article if anybody's doing Mulan or Moana, and it is using a colonist lens. So anyway, yes, the retelling of the woman warrior Mulan. So we find it. So, but did you see it took me 3 or 4 tries to get here, and it may take you 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 tries to find what it is that you're looking for. All right, so I'm going to end this video so that it doesn't get extremely long. I just wanted to make sure that you could see how to get to the college library. So I'm going to stop sharing and end this video. So have a good night, have a good week, and email me if you have any questions.